Ill. Could you silence your phone, please, sir? Yittity. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I just spent 2 years in Tibet. Hi, Mom. We were just talking about you.
Yes, we were.
How you were supposed to be telling me, explaining football to me, and the first question I asked you, you was like, I was like, never mind.
Google it.
You waiting on me? Come on.
Stop. To come to an end, cease to happen. Denoting one or more people or things already mentioned or assumed. Silence. Complete absence of sound. Stop the silence. Stop the silence.
Hello, everyone. How are you this fine evening? This is Ebony Dixon, the baby jumper. You are listening to Stop the Silence, and I am here stopping the silence with a very special guest today. She is none other than Beth Whicker. Yeah.
Hey, how are you guys? Thanks for having me.
It's fine. You know, we've had to reschedule you a couple of times, I think, but glad you're here now.
Hey, me too. Thank you.
If she looks familiar to you, yes, this is Beth Whicker from Freethinkers Radio Show. Yeah. The crowd is going wild for you.
Oh, goodness gracious, I'm so embarrassed.
I know, I haven't seen you in like a month or so.
Or 2 weeks.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Anyways, so Beth, for those who do not know anything about this wonderful Beth Whicker who smells oh so wonderful. This is her scarf. I mean, it just smells delightful. Anyways, if those people that don't know anything about you, what can you tell them about Beth Whicker?
Sure. My name is Beth.
Hi, Beth.
And I am the mother of 3 beautiful children with my husband, Jake.
Jake.
I know. And I also am the mother of a 15-year-old daughter that I placed for adoption.
Wow.
And I work from home selling essential oils. And then I wrote a book on how to build your business. And so, yeah, it's a little bit of a crazy ride. I always tell people, if I can do it, you can too, because I have multiple failed college courses underneath my belt and no degree. And so if you want to pursue your dreams, you can. And I am a testament of that. So for fun, I go to the zoo with my kids.
Mm-hmm. I love the zoo.
It's so much fun. Mm-hmm. And I travel and teach. And
she stays on the road, y'all.
I know, but I'm home for the holidays.
Whoop, whoop.
I know, it's like a movie.
I know. I was like, didn't I see that or something?
Like a Hallmark movie or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that. So I was, how long have you been selling oils?
I bought my very first little starter kit 4 years ago this month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you immediately start just selling oils, or were you like working another job and then you started doing that on the side?
Yeah, I definitely did not want to sell essential oils.
Really?
I didn't. I was working at a pawn shop. Mm-hmm. And I was working at a food truck, and I was cleaning a beach house.
Food truck? I love food trucks.
Oh, it was delicious. And
it was gluten-free food?
It was not.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
She's gluten-free, guys.
I know. Mm-hmm. But it was, so I was working those odd jobs. We had 3 small children, and my husband was planting a church and working a part-time job. And so when I got my little kit, we were on welfare. Like, we were really poor. I saved my pennies, and I definitely my husband was not thrilled about, like, the oils. And,
really?
And he was like, definitely no business. We are not doing this. And so
why did he feel that way?
It's a direct sales company, and so I had maybe done several of them. And
oh my gosh, this reminded me of the movie that I watched yesterday, but go ahead.
Oh, I want to hear all about it. So he just was like, this is not going to happen. Right. So I started using the oils. If you read my book, I'm a bit of an oversharer. So
if you're her Facebook friend. You'll know.
Yes. So I started sharing because it worked, not because I was like, oh, I want to sell.
Right.
And so I just started sharing because I have a big mouth. And people started asking me, and I was like, oh, I am not selling these oils. You're going to have to find somebody else to help, or, oh, you can just buy them through me. I have no idea. You can just buy them for whatever I get them for. Mm-hmm. So it's been an interesting journey. And God, when you tell God no, and that is not his plan for you,
listen,
he just turns you right around.
Right.
And so, and that's what he did. And it has been an incredible journey. And I'm so glad that I finally said yes to him.
Yay. All you got to do is say yes to God and make some plans and then start moving.
Exactly.
Everything that you don't have as you're making the moves, God will provide.
Absolutely.
Because he told you to go.
And that is this book. That is a testament.
Wow. We'll be back. Stop the silence. Yay! Yeah, I want to talk about this movie that I watched yesterday, which reminds me of something that you just said about failures and doing all the little, oh, let's try this. Oh, let's try that.
Hey, guys. Rita, Phyllis, Angela, Mindy, Jerry-Ann, Mandy, Mary.
You see what my mom talking about? She said, need some oils and diffuser, please. Thank you, Beth and Eb.
I got you, Mama. Mama Dixon.
Tiffany J.
Yay. I can see all my friends are on. Look at all of them. They're so awesome.
Why don't I see them?
Because you're not friends with them.
Oh, but wouldn't they, if we're on the same...
Really? I guess not. I can't see yours.
Huh.
I know.
That's interesting.
How are you guys? Ask questions if you have any. I'm telling all.
Well, hello, all of Beth's friends.
Thanks for being on here.
Oh, Mandy Matthews.
Hey, Mandy.
I see Mandy. Hi, Mandy. If you guys have any experiences with the essential oils, please let us know what you think about them. And another thing that I liked was how you said you weren't just telling people about them because you wanted to sell oils. You were telling them about it because you used them and they worked for you.
Yeah, I experienced it. When you fall in love with the product, it's like going to your favorite restaurant.
Right.
It's like when you find a little...
you gotta go when you go. You gotta try that burger or try whatever.
Exactly. And that's how it happened for me. So it made it really... really natural.
Okay. Yeah. How did somebody introduce that to you?
It was actually in a mommy group I bought from a total stranger.
A mommy group?
Mm-hmm.
And when mommies get together? Oh, okay.
Yep. I bought from a total stranger. Yeah. I know.
So what did they say that made you be like, okay, I'm going to try that?
Well, so I had tried a bunch of different brands, and that's why my husband was like,
Why were you trying oils in the first place?
I had been researching about them, and I already was living kind of a natural, trying to stay well, healthy, supplements, eating well. My dad died very unexpectedly 6.5 years ago, and so that just started us on a journey of really researching and finding, some different avenues.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Look at all you guys.
Oils are amazing, Sarah. I love them. This is Beth's scarf, and I could just sleep in this thing because it smells like, oh my gosh, it smells so good. Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
I'm loving Christmas spirit right now. Somebody asked. That's is nonstop in my house.
Is that an oil?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Beth is awesome, Rita. She is awesome, I must admit. We are back, stopping the silence with Beth Whicker here. We're talking about her journey with oils. Now, on the break, we were talking about how you got started with oils. And could you just elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, sure. So about 6.5 years ago, my dad died very unexpectedly, and that kind of started us on a journey to kind of researching what we were eating, what we were putting in our body. And so it kind of springboarded us into a natural health and wellness journey. And so I was taking supplements and doing research, and we were juicing. And so we were doing all these things. And so essential oils were really, really big on the market. And so I started doing some research and then like going to the store and grabbing some.
Right.
And I was super disappointed. And so I wanted to know, like, why all these people, a lady, a chick that I didn't know, added me into this group where you were learning about essential oils. And I just saw thousands of people with testimony after testimony. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to start saving my pennies. And it took me a little while, given, you know, our story, but I saved them, and it was the best purchase I've made. It has totally transformed our family's lives.
Wow.
In more than one way, you know?
Right,
I mean, I would not be here.
Right.
You know?
And I would not be smelling the wonders of this scarf right now if you had not took the advice of the lady in the mommy group. Lady in the mommy group, we thank you.
Her name is Katie.
Katie, we thank you.
Yeah.
Now, as you were talking earlier, you were talking about how you've tried so many of these, I don't know, what would you call them? I wouldn't say pyramid schemes, but, you know, like different
Direct
little
sales
and groups of things of that nature that didn't quite work out for you. So when you came to your husband, you were like, hey, I found something else, which reminded me of a movie that I watched yesterday called The Founder, and it's on Netflix. It's about how McDonald's blew up to be all over the nation and over the world.
Wow.
And one of the guys, not the McDonald's brothers, but one of the guys who was like, hey, you should franchise it. He had been, you know, going through different little organizations too. And his wife's like, oh, another one, you know?
Wow.
So that made me think about you when you were talking about how your husband wasn't fully on board at first.
No, it took him probably a good almost 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were just constantly going, hey, check this out, honey, for 2 years.
I probably had a team of about 2,000, and he still was like, I mean, okay, I'll use them, but I just don't know.
Right.
And when we went down to Ecuador to visit one of Young Living's farms down there, he really got to see like behind the scenes of the company, and they're really helping people. And so that is when he kind of started falling in love, really.
Okay.
So that's a pretty cool story. But
Well, it's cool that he got to experience with you instead of you just telling him what he's doing, and he's doing his own thing, but he's kind of went hands-on with you.
Absolutely. Yeah. The cool thing about Young Living is the products are incredible, and you see the results. Like when you experience, like you're experiencing
this scarf, huh?
You're experiencing the oils, and I'm pretty sure actually that there's a blend that I use today.
This smells like you, Beth. Every time I hug you, I'm like, oh, I just don't want to let you go.
Yeah, it's called Joy, and so it's a really happy oil.
Yeah, you see me smiling.
Well, you smile a lot anyway.
Oh, thank the Lord.
But, you know, the products have changed so many lives, and it's obvious. Like we just say, touch them, like smell them, experience them.
The smells are awesome. Just like I remember when you first introduced the peppermint oil to us. I mean, we were in here like, when can I get some more?
I know. Everyone was like passing around and
sniffing just.
Yeah,
I love it.
So naturally sharing was easy because, I mean, look at how easy. I did not even say a word. You put it on and you're like, oh my goodness.
Right.
And everywhere I go, people can smell me. Sounds a little creepy, but, you know, it's just, it's easy to share because you can experience it so simply.
And then was birthed the book. Downline Whispering, The Art of Knowing and Growing Your Team.
Yeah.
What made you write this book?
Yeah. So again, we had done several direct sales companies in the past. And so when I found Young Living, it was immediately like a family kind of atmosphere. That's really what they were pushing. And so I didn't want it to be all about sales, or I wanted it to be about the people. And so I started just stalking the people that were coming into my organization because I wanted to get to know them and their story and their journey. And so one of my friends was like, teach me everything that you're doing.
Right.
And so I did. I walked her through kind of what I did on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. And she said, "Friend, you are the Downline Whisperer." And so my friend Rosie actually named me the
What
Downline.
does that mean?
I know. It is basically teaching people to know their team and to be able to, whisper to them, like the dog whisperer,
Right,
or
right.
like I talk about the dog whisperer and the ghost whisperer. Like those movies are kind of that next kind of, it's not so creepy, but maybe.
Right. Okay, great. I mean, so how long did it take you to write this book?
So it actually didn't take me very long at all, because I had been teaching classes on it in Facebook for about 2.5 or 3 years. And so I had already written a script that was, I taught it in posts. So it was about 22 posts, written out posts. And so then it was just adding my heart and kind of the meat behind it. And my husband actually, he's brilliant. I may have several failed college courses, but he has several master's degrees. So we make a good pair, and he helped a ton writing the book. Just being able to, it was easier for me to talk to him, and then he could kind of put it together. And so he did a lot behind the scenes, but it's really my heart. And when people make an order, I don't want people to just see their sale coming through. I want them to know that they are important, their story's important, no matter where they are on their essential oil journey. I'm there to simply walk next to them. And some people aren't as ready as others.
Right. And that's okay.
It is.
Right.
It is. It's my job to teach and educate and walk beside them, love them. A lot of people have more than just their, essential oil journey. We're building a life together. We're living life together. We're experiencing loss together. We're experiencing life together. We're experiencing, love or the loss of love. Like there's so much that we're experiencing together besides just essential oils. And that's what really makes it a family and a community.
That makes a difference.
It does, because these oils are amazing. The company's been around for like 24 years. It's been around for a really long time. We're the leader in essential oils for sure. But there has to be more than that. Like, I don't want to build a relationship with you just to sell you oils.
Right.
I want to become family. And so I think that when you kind of, my team all knows that, like, that is just the culture of my team.
That makes such a difference.
It is really important, because then what is the point?
Right.
Like, what's the point if, my team is incredible. I love them. Let me just shout out. You guys are watching. I love you guys. They brought in over $250,000 in sales last month.
Wow. Woo, woo. Beth's team.
They are incredible. But, what would that be without a community?
Right.
Not much. I mean, sales, but I want more than that, because God has sustained me through the really, really good times. But guess what? 4 years ago, when we were on welfare and I was working 3 jobs, like, guess what? Like, it was up to me to be happy and content, And so.
Yeah, it's definitely a choice.
It is.
So tell us, I want to know, because I always think that this is important. I think that people see failure as, this just isn't my journey. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. But talk about how important the failures were to your success.
Absolutely. I remember thinking years ago, like, God is never going to bring us out of this. It makes me like a little bit teary because it was so real, and remembering, like, thinking we're always going to struggle. And, but, realizing too, like, it is a choice. Happiness is a choice, but, failing over and over is not a bad thing. I think, Thomas Edison, he failed over and over with the light bulb. Right. And so you think about that. If he had quit after so many failures, it would have taken longer for us to have
Right.
great
And I think a lot of successful people have that same story.
I mean, it's all over the place. I
Right.
mean, you can Google and you will hear some incredible stories. And I talk about that in here. My story is not, it is not the only one out there.
Right.
Like, there are thousands and thousands of people rising up despite hardships and failures and misses. But I just posted this in my group, like, your story's unique and it's special. And if you don't share it,
right,
you are losing the chance to connect with people and
right.
allow them to grow and share. And so being able to walk past maybe the shame that you're feeling or the struggle that you're going through,
guilt,
or
the fear, the anger, the frustration.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and being able to say, you know what? I don't even the rejection.
The rejection. Ooh.
Just being, able to say, you know what? This is my story. And if I can impact one person out there, positively, then that's worth it. And so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. I love it. I love a person just overcoming adversity. I love it. It's so encouraging.
It is, because then it's super relatable.
Yeah, absolutely.
You think, like, I can do this.
Right.
And listen, I was encouraged by people like telling me, you can overcome, you can push. I worked my tail off. It didn't just happen.
Yeah. There's some work that has to be done.
For sure, but it's possible.
Right.
If you want it.
Right.
And
so for anybody out there that might be thinking about writing a book, what kind of tips would you have for them?
So I would say write your book in your voice. Okay, that's probably, I don't know if you've talked about that on previous shows or not.
Even if we have, explain what you mean by your voice.
So I want people, when they read my book, it's like we're sitting down for coffee or tea, whatever you drink.
Whatever you drink.
Yeah. I want them to feel like I'm across the table when they're reading it, when they are watching a video, it's the same. When they meet me in person, I want them to be able to read my words and say, oh my goodness, I can totally see Beth saying this right now. And so I think that that's really important, because if you are a different person when you're writing than you are on your video,
that's good,
or in person, it's going to come off inauthentic, and that is going to be a turnoff right away.
That's good. I like that. That just made me think of some things. I like that though, because even when you're making Facebook posts and I'm reading what you're saying, I could totally hear you.
Yes. I say a lot of things aloud I read them out loud, because then I'm like, ooh, yeah, I would definitely not say it like that in person.
Right.
So
that's cool.
Jake just says I need to stop saying like so much.
Well, like,
I know. He's like, delete. I said like a lot in my book.
Oh. Well, that was you.
Exactly.
Well, we're going to talk more about where people can get this wonderful book from when we come back. Yeah.
Yay. Aww. Guys are so sweet to me.
All the oils. Hi, Dave. Those are amazing. That is what you teach, Beth. We love this girl in our tribe. Whoop, whoop. This is our favorite part about your book. You draw us right into your life with you. Aww.
I know. Seriously, don't make me cry.
This is great.
Yes.
Look at the impact that you're making on people in your life. And in turn, they're making impacts on other people. So it's just like, when you have the little...
like the trickle effect.
Yeah.
Or the ripple
effect. Yeah. It's just hitting everything.
I love that.
And it's like, when you think about, okay, how many other people you have in your tribe? You have about approximately 4,000. So imagine each one of them touching someone or touching two people.
Yeah, because I can't touch.
Right, but you actually are, because it's going through you, through them, through someone else, through, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, because you push through all your failures to be successful in what you're doing, and now look how many people it's affecting. That's wonderful.
I know.
Oh my gosh, that's so encouraging.
Man,
It is.
I know. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
That's,
When you do what you're supposed to do, you're affecting the people's lives that you're supposed to be affecting.
It's very true.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's powerful.
It is.
And then think about the people, if you're not doing it, think about the people that you're missing.
I know.
Because you didn't share.
Right.
Whew. Yeah. That's powerful.
It is.
And a little bit like challenging.
It is.
You know? Because...
But this is the thing too, like, because you've been doing that, it's kind of just a natural part of your life now. So it's not like something you feel like you have to work hard at or be stressed out about, because that's just naturally who you are now. You know, everything that you've been through has made you into this person that is just, it just comes out. It's nothing that's forced.
Yes, and that makes it a lot easier too.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just being a fake person and keeping up that lie, and eventually you're gonna fail at that.
Right. Be exposed.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be very embarrassing.
And rough. And yeah.
That's good. Oh, I feel so encouraged. I'm thinking about, I need to go home and work on my book.
Yes, you do. Yes, you.
Yeah.
Get to it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to read it.
Come back home.
Yeah. What's up, Sierra?
Yay. Hi, Jen, Heather, Christina. What's up, guys? I know, all these people you can't see.
My broadcast has been interrupted.
Thanks, Mindy and Debbie.
Mindy and Debbie! Okay. I had to go out and come back in. You have just heard Where's My Daddy by the Baby Jumper, and the other song before that was also by me, and it was called In the Name. The reason why I need more people to submit their music, come on people, do that for me, thebabyjumper@gmail.com. We are talking here with Miss Beth Whicker and her oily journey. You like that?
I
Your
love
oily
it.
journey.
I love it.
And we were talking about your book, Downline Whispering, you know, the art of knowing and growing your team.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say that this book is geared towards leaders or maybe aspiring leaders?
Yeah, so the book is really geared towards young living. You can probably use it with any direct sales company. We are in the middle of switching, like making a more just across the board book. So it's not specific for young living, but it is definitely geared towards young living, essential oils, people that are using oils and maybe wanting to share.
Okay, cool. So where can people purchase this book?
Yeah, so it is available on Amazon, on Kindle or paperback. And if you want to buy it in bulk, it's available on my website, downlinewhispering.com.
Okay, you heard it from Miss Beth Whicker herself.
Yay!
Now, I know you travel the world, as David said earlier. What do you have planned in the future as far as oils are concerned?
So I did want to say, if anybody doesn't have oils and wants to learn more about them, you can go to our team's website, thedropacademy.com. So it just has a brief overview on essential oils and what they do and what you can use them for. I am actually going to be speaking next year at an event in DC called Elevate.
Oh, wow.
So
sounds fancy.
I know. So I'll be talking. I'm kind of working on a new talk, but it will be very related to Downline Whispering. So I'm excited about that. I have a Facebook group that's open to anybody to learn more about Downline Whispering related to young living. And so you can find that. It's called Downline Whispering, the art of knowing and growing your team.
Okay. Is that going to turn into a book, The New Talk?
Maybe.
Okay,
I have some ideas up my sleeve.
Right.
So
Let's see what's going on under these sleeves.
I know.
Cool. So if people wanted to get in touch with you besides your website, are you on social media?
I am. You can find me on Facebook at Beth Whicker. I think I'm tagged on here. So, and then you can find me on Instagram and at Beth Whicker.
Okay.
And I'm around, I don't have any type of fancy like page or anything. You just have to be my friend.
So did you have a book signing?
No.
Are you thinking about doing something like that?
No.
No. She's not gonna do
If
that.
people ask it when they purchase it, I'll sign it.
An autographed copy.
Yeah. It's a little weird.
Aw.
I'm not going to lie.
You should do a book signing. I think that would be great.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Yeah, and then have some oils on the table too, so people can get a little whiff of Beth Whicker essence.
Goodness. I will be bringing the books to Elevate in next. It's Labor Day, so it's a little while away, but
Yeah, that's okay. It's a good time to plan and sort everything out and get everything together.
It will be exciting.
That's so cool. So will your family be joining you on that trip?
Yes, they will.
Oh,
I try to take them as much as I can. So
that's good. They're getting exposure to this entrepreneurship lifestyle.
No, I love it.
Do they ask a lot of questions?
They do.
That's good.
It is.
That's good.
It is. I think it's a really awesome thing to be able to teach your kids. So
Absolutely. They'll probably start, if they haven't already, start making their own little things. Mom, I want to sell this.
I know. Exactly. Absolutely.
Well, we have thoroughly enjoyed Beth Whicker. Get your book and get in touch with her on social media. And Beth, thank you so much for being our guest today.
Thanks for having me, Ebony.
Oh, you're welcome. Stop the silence. Auntie, you're late.